Despite the stretch of hot weather we saw last week, it is technically still spring, and that means it's a great time to get planting.
Yes, it is. If you were thinking of planting trees, there are things to consider before you move the dirt, like how tall the tree will grow, because a miscalculation could mean a hassle for the power companies.
Here to tell us all we need to know about tree planting is Alistair Smith, a forester for DTE. Thanks for joining us today.
Good afternoon. Thanks for having me on.
So when people are heading out, they want to plant a brand new tree. What do they need to keep in mind, and how high can they go?
Yeah, so there's really two main things we want to think about when we're planting new trees, and we use the term right tree, right place, right? So the main factors are going to be the species, what that species' overall mature height is going to be, and then the location you're going to be putting it relative to the power lines on your property, whether that be the distribution lines running along the back or side of the house, as well as the service line drop from the last pole to your house. So generally speaking, if we're going to be planting in the power line corridor, you want to choose a tree that's under 30 feet in mature height, something that's not really going to interfere with the electrical conductors and require much pruning into the future. If you're going to be looking at larger trees, you want to give them an adequate amount of space away from the conductors to ensure that we aren't going to have to do a lot of future utility trimming. So a good rule of thumb is whatever the mature height of the tree that you're going to be planting is, give it at least half the distance away from the conductor, so that way it has that nice full space for the canopy to develop and will require minimal intervention by the utilities.
So what happens here? Let's say you plant a tree and a few years down the road it starts to take its own way and it's coming close to a power line. What happens? Is that the responsibility of the homeowner, I assume?
So it's going to be the responsibility of the utility to trim for our distribution and secondary service lines. We follow ISA arboricultural standards when we're trimming our trees to make sure that we're leaving behind the healthiest trees that we can while also maintaining safe, appropriate clearances. The only line that would not be the case for is what we call the service drop, which is the line that's running from your pole to your house. So that is the responsibility of the homeowner to keep maintained. But we always do recommend that you use a certified, qualified arborist to do that trimming work.
All right, and for people who are having an issue, they see a tree that's getting really close, they should just call in?
Yeah, definitely calling the DTE 1-800 number is going to be the best way to get a hold of us. We'll get a tree crew out there as soon as possible to address the situation.
Well, Alistair Smith, thank you so much. The forester from DTE, thank you so much for being here tonight.
Thank you so much for having me.